everybody, how are you all doing? Rachel here as always on a Thursday at 6, and tonight we're going to be doing some work with Superduos, and I'll be showing you what they are if you've never heard of them before. But as always, please do give me a thumbs up and do pop me a note in the comments so I know you were present. So I have my little tablet in front of me and I'm hoping that it's all going to work okay. Please let me know if everything's okay. In my wisdom, I have a feeling I forgot to turn all of my apps off. So, oh wow, we've got lots of people in the house. Hello Francis, hello Trisha, Tracy, Kim, Sharon, Wendy, Hilary and Saba. Do let me know if the connection is okay. It's a bit blurry. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. What I think I might do is just close all of my apps down and I'll be right back. So do stay there. I'm not going to disconnect, but I might go off screen. Is that better? Hello, Linda. Hello, Patricia. I am hoping that closing down all of my apps has helped. And just to say as well, it does help from your end as well. If you've got lots of apps open like I just had, do close them all down because it makes for a much better stream. Oh, good. It said that the live will start soon. You got a notification. Better. Brilliant. Hello, Jackie. So let's show you what we're going to be making tonight. Now, these were recently launched on the craft store. They're now available to buy in kit form from my website, beadsbyverchiel.co.uk. If you've got Superduos already, you can make this project already with what you've got. The good thing with the kit is, I must admit, it's remembering the combinations that you need to make the heart. I still have to refer to my notes for this. The other thing is, if you're new to jewellery making, you haven't got many tools, do you know what? You don't need anything for the kit. It's literally, even the chain I've made up for you. So these are the colourways that I've got. But obviously the Superduos, I've got new stock that's actually in the Facebook group as well. So there's the mauve coloured heart. There's the red one that I'm wearing. That's the red one, and that's the blue one. Actually, the blue one would have matched better with what I've got, but hey. Hello, Lydia. Hello, Carol. Sorry I can't watch live. Been looking forward to this. We'll watch it about half an hour. No problem at all, Kay. It's just, it will be lovely to have you join for whatever little time or whenever you catch up. The other thing you could do with these as well is you could attach them to an actual bag charm as well. So I've got lots of bag charms here as well. Oh, bear with me. Right, there we go. So things that you're going to need for this. Now, they're actually called Superduos. They are made in Czechoslovakia. They are made by a company called Precosa. And they, how can I describe them? They're like sort of overly tight beads like that. And there's 2 holes either side. So they're called duo holes. And you know what? They make such amazing patterns. Next week, I'm going to be showing you, it's one that you've been asking for a while. It's my patchwork quilt. I absolutely love this. It's got no clasp. And this was one I threw together all of my ends of Superduos to make this. And you know what? It just goes with everything. It's not my pattern. It's a generic pattern that's kind of a form of peyote. So if you've ever done peyote before, but do not be put off by that. It's actually quite simple. when you know how. It's just getting your head around the start. Once you got over the start, it's perfect. So, do you know, you can even do these in golds and silver, so they kind of look like a, you know, sterling silver rope or a 9-carat gold rope. So that is next week's, okay? What else do I need to tell you? So what comes in the kit is obviously your duos, your chain, pre-made, size 10 seed beads for the in-between, but you can use 11s, needle and thread as well. You don't need a huge amount of needle and thread. Right. Let's have a little look, see. I'm glad you like these. Hello, Chris. Lovely to have you join. Yes, Kim, earrings would be fab with this. It really would. Hello, Linda. Hello, Sharon. Love the long necklaces. I love the long necklaces. And, you know, quite often you've run out of them, providing they're roughly all the same size. I even use different brands in that. There is another brand called Twin Hole Beads. I can't remember which company it is. But anyway, there we are. So I'm going to actually zoom in now. Hopefully, I think you're all sort of got an okay reception. Right, let's just switch from one to the other. There we go. So let's just swipe the comments out of the way, and we're going to need a good old zoom in, aren't we? Okay, so I have cut just over 1 metre of thread. And I'm using Nymo. This is available as well. It's £1.60 a reel. And a size 10 beading needle. I wouldn't recommend using sewing thread because it's not strong enough to actually do this kind of project. I've also waxed it as well with a beading wax. Let me find it. Which you can see mine is so well used. It's got little grooves in there, so I run that along there. It stops, well, it helps to prevent fraying and it helps to keep your needle threaded. So excuse all of the ink marks on my hands. I will explain later. Right, okay, so from the bottom, we're going to leave, what, 5 inches of tail. And this is the combination that you're actually going to thread on. Okay, 2 super duos, then 1 seed bead, 1 super duo, 1 seed bead, 6 super duos, 2 seed beads and 1 in the middle. So you're going to repeat the combination with the exception of the middle one, the other side. So you've got 2 seed beads, 6 super duos, 1 seed, 1 super duo, 1 seed, 2 super duo. Okay, so I'm just going to actually get in as close as I can. So if you are actually doing this later and you just want to see, there we go. Hopefully you've got a good zoom in there. Okay, so I'll just separate the groups so that you can see for future reference if you play this back. Alrighty. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to tie both ends together. So to do that, I'm actually just going to do an overhand knot like that. Just do it nice and steady, because what can happen is the beads can overlap each other and you don't end up with a very good join. And then I'm going to overhand that again. Okay. Now you can what we call reinforce, which is to go back round, but what do I do suggest reinforcing in my pattern, which what you would do is you'd thread your needle all the way around the beads you've just added until you meet the other thread. I am not going to do this because it's going to make it more difficult for me to demonstrate because it gets tighter. All right, now when you've reinforced where the tail joins, it doesn't really matter which way you're going with it, but what you want to do is go through the next 2 super duos. Now don't be put off by the fact that it might be a bit difficult for me whilst on camera to maneuver through these. So I'm going through the next 2 super duos. I am not going through the second hole, it's exactly the same hole. I'm going through the next seed bead. What you can actually do if it's difficult is just kind of tilt it open a little bit. Right. And just do a couple at a time. So you carry on, you go through the next group of 6 super duos. And like I say, what I'm going to do is just part that slightly. Now I have to confess, because if I'm sitting doing this on my own, it's absolutely fine. But it really is not nerve-wracking, but it makes you feel a bit pressured when you're on camera doing this, because as those of you that have done beadwork before will know that just occasionally your needle and your thread do have a little mind of their own. And they don't always play ball, but don't let it put you off. So I've gone through those group of 6 and I'm going to go through just the first group of 2 seed beads that you see. Now what this is going to be is the top of the heart. Okay, so let me show you where we are. It doesn't look much at the moment, but we've just come out of these top 2 here. And then what we're going to add is 3 seed beads. We're going to skip the twin bead in the middle, and we're actually going to go across to those 2 just over the bridge there. And what this is that creates that little V, that V drop in the middle there. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to go through, bear with me, I'm just making sure I follow my notes so that when you get your pattern, if you buy it, it's not going to be confusing. You go through the next bottom hole of that twin bead. Okay, now we're going to what we call step up, and this means reversing direction. So I'm actually going into the second hole of the bead I've just come out of. So I've been going that way and now I'm going the opposite way. So effectively you've got like this little stitch in the side. Do you see that? Now bear with me while I follow my pattern. Go through the next 2 super duo top holes. So that's 1 and 2. So that again is your top part. Now this is what's happened, and this is a good thing to happen because I can show you what to look out for. Now can you see I've missed one of the super duos? So you could go back through the hole. Sometimes you have to undo, so just watch out for that. Make sure that they're all facing up. Don't do as I do, do as I say. And we're going to pull that together. So let's just show you where we're at. So you see where that V is, and how those are pulled together at the top, like so. Might be a bit difficult for you to see at the moment. Now you're going to pull that tight, and you're going to be working in the second holes all the way round, and you're going to actually add a seed bead and go through the next top hole. And then you're going to repeat that until you've got 8 seed beads in between every twin. I've just seen on there how lovely that we've got sisters in the group. Now, Linda, who are you sisters with? Is it Sue? What an absolutely fabulous thing to be doing together. So can you see how that's coming together? I'm really hoping that I am not making this look quite daunting. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, just about count. Ah, it is Sue and Linda. Oh. So do you both do the same types of beading? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. Let's just take stock. Okay, so we went across the 3 at the top, and then we added 1 seed bead in between until we'd got 8 seed beads. Okay, bear with me. Now, if you find that your heart starts to buckle later on, then to rectify that, just simply go back round it again and pull it tight. Right, okay. Now, at the bottom here, we are going to add one more, excuse me, making all this noise, one more super duo. And then we're going to skip into the next hole. Oh, sorry, off camera. Like so. So that's the point in the middle. And then we're going to add 8 seed beads all the way along, so we got a marry up the other side. Just making sure that I am in view. Hi Nora, thank you for joining. So who in the group has worked with super duos, and perhaps you'd like to share what sort of projects you work with the super duos? Or have you got super duos in your stash? You bought it and you thought, do you know what, I love those, but you've put them in your stash and you've kept them for a rainy day. Perhaps you don't know what to do with them. Perhaps you're waiting for some inspiration. Right, I think I'm nearly there. Now, there you go. There's your heart formed already. Now, as you can see, we've got a little bit of buckling occurring. So, do not fear. what you want to do if there's buckling appearing is actually reinforce it. And reinforce is a term used very often in bead embroidery and also in bead weaving. Now, bead weaving is just a term for the type of jewellery making with needle and thread. So that's what we're doing. And so reinforcing is just really making it stronger. Now, you might wonder, what on earth am I going to do with the tail? Well, I will show you in a little while. But you know what? We've got loads of time. But I have to say that now I love the heart one. It is a pattern I made up myself. It is inspired by something I've seen, but it is my own pattern. The rope isn't my pattern. It's made by Starman, which I think are the people that actually make and produce a star, the Superduos. And I've actually got a free PDF that I can pop on the site next week that you can download for the rope. Now, the rope, do you know what? It's actually one of my favourite necklaces. I have worn it and worn it, and it feels so lovely around your neck. I think that's why it's one of my favourites, is because I don't know, as I get older, my skin has become more sensitive and I don't really like things with clasps. Right, can you see the fact that I am, just by reinforcing, has just made it so much better. Now, whilst I'm doing that, I'm just going to actually show you how to tie off. Okay, so to tie off, now we've got a few bits left to do on the project, but I want to show you how to tie off. And I tie off in about 3 different places. I'm going to go either through or under the thread in between beads to create a loop. Now, before you pull the loop and sort of cancel the loop out, so to speak, pop the needle through the loop so that you form a little knot around it. And then push your needle through a few more beads and do that. Now, I'm not quite finished yet because we're going to actually add the soldered ring, but I like to pop a few knots in beforehand just to give it a little bit of stability. So there we go, do another knot and pull. So if you find that you've gone round once and it still quite isn't the right shape, just persevere. Perhaps go around the inner one as well. Okay, so bear with me because I just need a quick refresher on how to add the bail. Isn't that terrible that I need that? And also a top tip is, if it gets more difficult to reinforce, then bend your work so that you can get in it a little bit easier. So in creating the loop, we go through the top 3 super duos, the ones without a seed bead attached to them. So if it's difficult to get in, just bend your work slightly. It just does become a little bit more difficult. Oh yes, of course, June and Leslie assisted. Oh, that's really lovely. So we've got, I knew that, June, but completely forgotten. I think that's absolutely wonderful. So we are going to add 3 seed beads. Okay, and we are going to go into the other super duo, the other side, but we're coming back on ourselves. So we're coming out of this one, so you're creating a loop, like so. Just bear in mind, okay, that if you find there's an easier way for you to do it, then, you know, do it. This is just a guide. And June and Leslie, do you do similar projects as well? And as sisters, are you all drawn to, you know, like, are you all drawn to similar things? And do you find that your eyes are drawn to the same beads and projects? Right, so I've just gone back round, okay? So I've added these three, come back round here, and now I'm going to go through the first two seed beads. So I'm just going to bring this one to show you. So we're going to make a loop, but what you're going to need is you're going to need your soldered ring. Now, why do I not have my soldered ring? Do you know there's always something, isn't there? Always something that I forget. Fortunately, they're not too far away. So we are going to add, how many do we say in this one? 9. So we're going to add 9 seed beads. Let's move that out of the way. And before you anchor it the other side, pop the soldered ring on your needle. Pop that over there. And then what we're going to go, so we're coming out this side of that middle bead. You want to anchor it the other side, so you're making a full loop. And that loop is where your chain would go through. Now, if you're buying a kit, your chain is already attached to that soldered ring. I'm going to reinforce it because you do not want your necklace or whatever, your earrings, hanging on one thread. You need it to be much stronger than that. So I'd say go around it probably 3 times. So June says she makes similar colours but don't always make the same styles. And Linda and Sue have a little beaded jewellery business started. That is fantastic. I think, you know, it's really something special, isn't it, to do something with, you know, your nearest and dearest. The thing I share with my family, not all of them, but certainly on with my dad and my daughter is, and my brother, is music. And that's what we've always shared in. And I sing in a little choir. Nora's recently joined as well, which is fab. And we just rehearse on a Friday morning, and there's only about 14 members. And I must admit, my dad is an amazing musician. He really is. And it is really something special to share with him. So I am a flautist, a flute player. I could say I'm a pianist. I've done all my exams with them. And flute just doesn't faze me at all. I'm quite happy playing in front of lots of people. Now the piano, I am like Les Dawson. What can I say? The ability's there, but I just fall apart. And it's something that I would really, really like to overcome. What do they call it? Stage nerves. Yeah. Just surreal. So I do a very good Les Dawson impression on the piano, quite naturally as well. Yes, Nora's singing is amazing. Now, I hope you don't mind me saying that, Nora, but she did sing to us, didn't she, Sharon, and Frances, if she's other Frances Blackmore. We did put her on the spot a little bit, and said, you know, we'd love to hear her sing. Oh, Sharon, doesn't she have the most beautiful voice? She really does. Right, so here we go. Ah, so you and Leslie are opposite ends of the country, and Linda says it's all her fault. I'm making a start at lockdown. She made me a bracelet and I said I couldn't, but now you know you can. And she did do it. That's such a lovely achievement, isn't it? So there you go. So that's a soldered ring. So obviously that's where, let me just show you one of the pieces. Oh, I'm sorry, Nora. I didn't want to embarrass you. But she does. Credit where credit is due. And I've heard a fair few singers in my time, I can tell you. So I have a tuned ear, I really do. I can't say the same for mine, but I just enjoy it. So then you would tie this off again by going in between beads. And then if it just needs a little bit of tightening up, then obviously you can do that. Now, can you see it's getting tighter? So bend it. Do you know it's not going to snap? And if it does, you know, does it matter? Start again. If you find your thread snaps, okay, just build in a new piece of thread like you're actually tying it off. Tie it in the same way. Just leave a little tail. And then I'll show you, because we've got lots of time, I'm going to show you how to tie the tail off. And we're going to make this one into a bag charm. Now, how many sewers do we have in the group? Now, I know a few sewers in the group. And do you know what? If you make bags, this would make such a cute little accessory. Now, sharp pair of scissors, and cut, or your thread zapper if you've got thread zapper. For those of you that have got it, you'll know what I mean. If you've not seen one before, it's just like a little burner. It burns your thread. Just threading this up. Now, I hope that it's not looked too complicated. All I would say is I'm just going to go off camera. I'm just going to show you that while I'm threading my needle. Is, you know, give it a go, even if you don't like sewing. You know, Sharon really, one of our workshops, I remember Sharon saying to me, because I said, oh, you know, you really, you know, you need to love sewing to do these. Now, Sharon, as she quite rightly pointed out to me, is absolutely, you don't need to love to sew. It's a nice combination with the bags, but you don't need to sew or to have the skills to sew to do this. Now, I'm just going again, tying off this tail. Do you know, Sharon, I've got a really old sewing machine, but it does the job, and mine needs servicing. There's a friend of mine that lives locally, Sharon. I'm going to have to find out, because she has someone service for her regularly. So I'm going to have to find out who she uses. Now, another top tip, right, is if it starts getting really tight, is have yourself a pair of pliers so that you can pull them through. Now, I would tie off in a couple more places. See if I've got a chance to do that. Let me put these on. Let me put these in view for you to have a little look whilst I'm just threading my needle. And feel free to ask any questions. So we have our sewers. So Carol sews, yay. Trisha sews. Kim sews. I certainly know that June does. So we know Sharon does as well. Francis said, I bought a new machine and after my last one caught fire, halfway through replacing the zip. Oh dear. That's a bit scary then. Let's just pop those. Found some online around the corner that repairs sewing machines. Oh, well, Sharon, will you let me know how you get on? Because my sewing machine foot seems to have a little bit of a mind of its own. It seems to either go mega slow or it goes, you know, as if it's coming to the finishing line of end of a marathon. So I'm just tying off, and what I'm just going to show you is how you do the little bag charms, okay, or key ring. Now I will put them up in the thread tomorrow. Let's cut that off. Be careful not to cut through the rest of your thread. But we've done that from scratch. Now I've done that in what, half an hour. Now I reckon even if you've not done any of these before, I still reckon you could probably get those done in maybe an hour and a half, you know, taking your time, you know, maybe quicker depending on whether you've done any bead weaving before. Now I'm just going to grab some pliers and we're just going to add these. I love these. I can't remember how much they are, but they're not very expensive, but I just think they're so sweet. So you'd attach an open jump ring, so the splits at the 12 o'clock, open them with a rocking action with either 2 chain nose or 2 flat nose or a combination of. Pop one on one, or pop one on the jump ring and then the other one, and then close up. And squeeze. And there you've got your cute little bag charm. Now I'll just show you the other charms that I've got as well. So we've got star, silver and gold. We've got the heart in the gold as well. We've got moons and blossom. So if anybody does want those before they go up, just send me a little message. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and they are so lovely and tactile. Like Kim said, you know, you can do these for earrings as well. You could even, just thinking about it, you could even stitch that onto your beading foundation as a bead embroidery piece. You know, you could put little stitches on there and actually sew other beads around it if you wanted to, just you know, making a different design with them. So let's just zoom out. There we go. Hair's tied up now. Let's just have a quick look at your, if I put the screen a bit closer, it doesn't look like I'm looking away, does it? So June, do share in the group as well any of your makes. Beaders at Beads by Verchiel as well. Would love to see your makes, and if you've won any of the giveaways, I'd love to see what you've done with the giveaway, if you've won beads or a kit. Right, it's not really letting me swatch all of that. Why is that not letting me see the comments? No, I can do the comments. Right. So Kim said her nan taught her to sew when she was about 7 on a old Singer sewing machine. Those are just amazing, aren't they? So don't forget, either you can buy it in kit form. I can't remember what the kits are, £18.95, something like that. So it's got full written, full photograph instructions and everything you need. You don't need any tools. It's a nice one to take away with you as well. So Sharon said she'd love that as a bag charm. I'm glad you're all liking the designs. That's brilliant. So let me show you what the giveaway is tonight. So I am actually going to give away one of my kits. So it's actually, let me put it on a little bustier. Hello, Lucy. Sending you get well wishes, love. Right, so the winner will get one of these kits, okay, plus free P&P if there's anything that you want to buy and have it included in your package. All you need to do is make sure you like the post for the live and you comment. So I'm going to let it run until Saturday. You don't have to be joining me live to be in to basically enter. Just make sure you add the comments, a comment and a like on there as well. I can't think of anything else unless anybody else has got any questions. So Carol said her gran was a seamstress and had a Singer treadle machine. Wonderful. Do you know, I used to have one of the old Singer sewing machines in the treadle for my my cash desk to sit on, which has been returned back to its original home. It was kind of on permanent loan to me from a friend of mine, and she was doing an extension and said, do I use it? Could I have it back? Absolutely. You know, now that I don't have my shop, so it has gone back, and I think she's going to get it back and working. Linda, yes, you could use mini duos as well. The only thing I would say is it might throw the pattern out because the spacing might not be right. So what I'd say is try it. You might need a little bit more reinforcing, and I'm not 100% sure, but like anything, do try it. Now, how many beads does next week's necklace need? Right, now I checked the pattern. I wonder if I could find it on here, bear with me. I think it was between 40 and 60 grams of super duos. So super duo rope. You can so tell that this isn't mine. I'll be able to, I will put the pattern up in advance, but I think it was between 40 and 60. I'm doing that thing when you're younger and you think, why do people look down in their glasses? Doing that old thing where you're looking under your glasses. Is it that one? Oops. No, it's not that one. I mean, there's loads on there. But what I'll do is I will find it out. I will put the pattern PDF in the group ready for next week. Okay. Yes, try size 15 seed beads. good idea. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you as always for joining me, and I will speak to you very soon. Take care.